What if one aircraft could redefine the boundaries of speed, versatility, and stealth in the skies? The General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark was more than just a fighter bomber. It was a technological marvel that pushed the limits of aviation in the Cold War era. Today we'll explore how this remarkable aircraft came to be, its groundbreaking design and combat history, and the lasting legacy it left on military aviation. Join us as we unravel the story behind the Aardvark, an icon of tactical air power. The story of the F-111 begins in the early 1960s, a time when the Cold War was intensifying and the U.S. military sought to develop an aircraft that could fulfill multiple roles with unprecedented effectiveness. At the heart of this ambition was the Tactical Fighter Experimental Program, or TFX, initiated by Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara in 1962. McNamara's vision was to create a single aircraft that could serve both the U.S. Air Force and Navy, a multi-role fighter capable of long-range strike missions, fleet defense, and nuclear delivery. This bold approach aimed to reduce costs and streamline defense procurement during a period of escalating technological demands. General Dynamics won the contract to develop the aircraft, designated the F-111, and set about incorporating cutting-edge innovations that would define the plane for decades. The F-111 was the first production aircraft to feature variable geometry wings, allowing it to sweep its wings back for supersonic speeds and extend them for slower, more stable flight during takeoff and landing. This capability gave the F-111 a unique combination of speed and maneuverability, allowing it to fly fast at high altitudes or cruise low at high speeds to avoid radar detection. Another revolutionary aspect was the introduction of afterburning turbofan engines, the Pratt & Whitney TF-30. These engines provided the thrust needed for supersonic performance while maintaining fuel efficiency. Coupled with an advanced terrain-following radar system, the F-111 could automatically fly at low altitudes, hugging the terrain to evade enemy radar and surface-to-air missiles. This terrain-following radar was a game-changer, enabling all-weather, day or night precision strikes at speeds previously unimaginable. However, the development process was far from smooth. The ambitious attempt to satisfy both Air Force and Navy requirements in a single airframe led to significant design compromises. The Navy's version, the F-111B, was intended as a long-range fleet defense interceptor, emphasizing heavy armament and carrier compatibility. Unfortunately, the F-111B grew too heavy and underperformed in agility and speed, leading to its cancellation in 1968 after only a handful of prototypes were built. Meanwhile, the Air Force's versions, focusing on attack and strategic bombing roles, continued development and entered service by 1967. The F-111's first operational deployment came during the Vietnam War. Deployed in March 1968, it brought new capabilities to the theater of conflict. Its ability to fly at low altitude and high speed allowed it to conduct deep interdiction missions, striking targets far behind enemy lines with precision. Over the course of the war, F-111s flew more than 4,000 combat missions, with a remarkably low loss rate of just 6 aircraft. This demonstrated not only the aircraft's toughness, but also the effectiveness of its advanced avionics and terrain-following systems in hostile environments. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, the F-111 saw multiple upgrades and specialized variants. The FB-111A emerged as a strategic bomber capable of delivering nuclear payloads, supplementing the U.S. Strategic Air Command's bomber fleet. Another important variant was the EF-111A Raven, an electronic warfare aircraft equipped to jam enemy radar and communications, offering crucial support for strike packages. These adaptations underscored the F-111's versatility, adapting it to evolving military needs beyond its original fighter-bomber role. Internationally, the F-111 also made its mark. The Royal Australian Air Force ordered the F-111C variant in the late 1960s to replace its aging English electric Canberra bombers. The F-111C combined the longer fuselage of the F-111A with the wings and landing gear of the F-111B, creating a unique model tailored to Australia's vast geographic needs. Entering service in 1973, the F-111C provided Australia with long-range strike capabilities and advanced reconnaissance. Although the RAF's F-111s never fired a shot in anger, Their presence acted as a powerful deterrent in regional conflicts, including peacekeeping missions, like the International Force East Timor deployment. Technically, the F-111 was an engineering marvel. It measured 73 feet 6 inches in length and had a wingspan of 63 feet when spread, reducing to 32 feet when wings were swept back for high-speed flight. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney TF-30 engines, producing up to 25,100 pounds of thrust with afterburners, it could reach speeds over Mach 2.5 at altitude. Its combat radius exceeded 1,500 miles, and with external drop tanks, ferry range extended beyond 3,200 nautical miles, enabling deep strikes without refueling. The aircraft's armament was equally formidable. It featured 9 hardpoints capable of carrying up to 31,500 pounds of mixed munitions, including conventional bombs like the May-82 and Mech-84, laser-guided paveway bombs, cluster munitions, and even nuclear weapons such as the B-61 bomb. A 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon was installed in the weapons bay but was rarely used. The F-111's ability to deliver a wide variety of weapons made it adaptable to countless mission profiles, from precision strikes to area bombardment. During Operation Desert Storm in 1991, the F-111F variant played a critical role. Equipped with advanced avionics upgrades, including improved terrain-following radar and inertial navigation systems, the F-111F demonstrated remarkable accuracy and survivability. Completing over 1,600 sorties, it achieved a mission success rate of 76%, with pilots reporting an average of 3.2 successful strikes for every unsuccessful attempt, the highest ratio among U.S. strike aircraft in the conflict. The F-111's ability to fly low and fast in adverse conditions made it invaluable against well-defended targets in hostile airspace. Despite its successes, the F-111's operational life was influenced by budget constraints and evolving military doctrines after the Cold War. Maintenance costs were significant, partly due to the complexity of its variable geometry wings and sophisticated avionics. The USAF began retiring the fleet in the early 1990s, with the last F-111Fs withdrawn in 1996, and the EF-111 electronic warfare variants retired in 1998. The aircraft was gradually replaced by the F-15E Strike Eagle for medium-range precision strike roles and the B-1B Lancer for supersonic bombing missions. Meanwhile, the Royal Australian Air Force continued operating their F-111Cs well into the 21st century. The RAF's fleet received upgrades to extend service life and avionics capabilities, making them among the most capable versions globally. However, by 2010, aging airframes and rising costs led Australia to retire the F-111C. Its role was temporarily filled by Boeing FA-18EF Super Hornets until the arrival of the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. The F-111C's retirement marked the end of an era for Australian air power, closing the chapter on one of the most distinctive aircraft in their history. The F-111's influence on aviation extends beyond its own operational history. Its pioneering variable sweep wing design informed later aircraft such as the Panavia Tornado and the Soviet Su-24. Its automated terrain-following radar set a new standard for low-level penetration capabilities. Many of the avionics concepts and mission flexibility introduced by the F-111 have become staples in modern combat aircraft design. The aircraft's ability to perform diverse roles, attack, reconnaissance, strategic bombing, and electronic warfare, highlighted the advantages of multi-role platforms, influencing decades of military aviation development. Moreover, the F-111 holds a special place in popular culture and history. Its distinctive afterburner roar and unique shape have made it an aviation icon. Notably, the sound of an F-111 flyby was recorded on the Voyager Golden Record, a message to extraterrestrial intelligence launched into space in 1977. This symbolically immortalizes the Aardvark as a triumph of human engineering and exploration. In summary, the General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark was a groundbreaking aircraft that redefined tactical air power during the Cold War and beyond. From its ambitious origins in the TFX program, through its combat record in Vietnam and the Gulf War, to its lasting impact on aviation technology, the F-111's story is one of innovation, adaptability, and resilience. Though no longer in service, The Aardvark's legacy continues to inspire the design and operation of modern military aircraft worldwide. The F-111 was not just a plane. It was a symbol of an era where speed, technology, and versatility converged to meet the challenges of a complex world. Its story reminds us how innovation can change the course of history, and how every aircraft has a story worth telling.